Miata update. Today I'm replacing my speedometer cable and I'm going to be adding some LEDs into the instrument cluster. Let's get to it. Now, I'm new at pretty much everything when it comes to cars. I can rotate tires, I've never done brakes, and I've done my spark plugs. That's pretty much it. But I'm learning. I want to learn. That being said, I've never done a speedometer cable. My Scion was electronic. Most of the other cars I've driven are just barely new enough, so they're probably electronic. So I've never done it. I've never even really seen it until I looked at mine, sort of. So you're gonna go with me while I learn how to do this. So if there's a better way to do it, let me know. I would love to learn the proper way of doing things, but since I have no idea what the heck I'm doing, this is how I feel like it can be done. Your opinion may vary. Let's get to it. Okay, so first thing that I think needs to be done is the car needs to go up in the air. You need to get to the transmission to physically disconnect the cable from the transmission itself. So I'm gonna go get a cinder block, put it behind the rear tire, and then jack the car up, and we'll go from there. Okay, so the next step is slide a piece of cardboard under the car. That way it makes it easier for you to slide back and forth underneath the car. But with the Miata, it's going to be difficult, no matter how high the thing is. Alright, so you are going to be looking for this cable right here. It goes all the way up to the right side of the engine and then crosses over into the firewall. It goes right here, so it's on. I can't get far enough away for you to focus on it, but anyway, it's on the right side of the transmission. So driver's side's that way, passenger's this way. It's this connection right here. You're gonna get some pliers and just twist that off. It was not very tight, so just turn it by hand and beware of loose flying debris also. Probably wouldn't hurt to wear safety glasses down here. There we go. It's out. Now, there are two clips holding it in place down here. Here's one, and then the other one's right up here. So, that's it for underneath the engine and the transmission. So let's go up there. Okay, so this next part is probably going to be the most difficult part. Right here on the firewall is the last clip holding the cable to the car. It's directly behind the engine and there's not a whole lot of room. So once I figure out how to unclip that, I will let you know and then we'll move on. On mine, I was a little confused because I was expecting that piece right there to be the clip, but it's not. I don't know what that is because the clip was actually that white thing right there. So whatever is holding yours in place, just be careful when you pry it off and you should be good to go. Okay, so next you're gonna grab this rubber piece here, kind of pull it off. Okay, so I've got the gauge hood off, and to do that you have to take the little plastic bracket, whatever thing that sits right here, off. And then there's 4 screws holding the cluster in, and it's kind of hard to see. There we go. And then you're gonna have 3 clips. Black one is gonna be right here. It's connected up here. And then this big white one's gonna be right here And then there's this one. Now, this one is a problem. I've been working on it for about 20 minutes and I cannot unconnect it. However, for my purposes today, this will suffice because I've got access to all of my lights and I managed to disconnect the cable. So if you know how to disconnect this, please let me know. But let's just say I'm glad I decided to do all of this at once. Alright, so now that it's disconnected from the cluster, it should just be a matter of pinching these two clips and pulling it out. There we go. And then this should just pull straight out. Whoa, Nelly, that was difficult. Alright, so here is the old one, and here's the new one. So now I get the fun part of trying to run this down there. Okay, so now that I'm actually back under the car and I'm trying to connect it, I found a problem. Because I have some slack up in the front for the gauge cluster, this isn't long enough to go into the transmission. So, let's go do the rest of it and then we'll come back and plug all this in. Alright, so before I pulled them out of the package, I wanted to show you what light bulbs I bought. Now all of these, for both the cluster here and on the outside, I bought from superbrightleds.com. But they are the natural white number 194 bulb. Now I'm not sure if these are directional, so what I'm going to do is plug them in and then turn it on and see if they work. Alright, so new bulbs are in. Now for you guys, it's going to be kind of hard to tell during the day to see if they're working or not, but if you look right there on the needles, you'll see lights light up on all of them. So they all work. And I don't believe there is any direction, like a specific direction these LEDs need to go, because I took one out, flipped it around, and it still worked. So just plug and play. So now that all the installation is done, I'm going to go and connect the speedometer cable, screw in the dash, gauge thing, whatever, and try and reconnect the cable at the bottom. Okay, so let's check that, make sure it's all the way in. Let's check the clip back there, and now we'll go connect it. Alright, so first we're going to reconnect the clips. And let's see if this works. Now, this piece right here will only go in one direction, so you may have to pull it out every once in a while and rotate it, unless you can see up in there, see what direction it's facing. It's really difficult, especially with the camera, but I think I've got it lined up, so let's see. Nope, not quite. Come on. There we go. It's in, it's tightened. Let's go ahead and lower the car and see if it works. All right, let's go see if it worked. Now, in mine, it would work at pretty much just the lower speeds, so we don't have to go far to see if this works. Well, it looks like it's working because it should be flickering by now. It usually does. Alright, it seems to be working. Yes. Now I don't have to hear the annoying flicker, see the annoying flicker, know there's an annoying flicker. So, there you go. Now, it took me probably about 2 hours to do this, but that's because I was... Hang on, let's let this guy go by. That's because I was dealing with cameras and lenses and explanations and all that stuff. So for you, it shouldn't take anywhere near as long. I would say maybe a half an hour. But there you go. So, if this helped you, that's great, let me know. If not, well, there's not much I can do about that. Hopefully I'll have something else soon, but like I've said before, there's not much that this car needs. See you guys later.